Hello everyone, it's Taylor, and today we are here to film my Pan That Palette update for, I guess, my January update, although this is going up right at the beginning of February. It's my first check-in, is what I'm trying to say. I apologize for this very raw look today. This is Taylor unfiltered, if you will. I had some errands to run earlier. Basically, I haven't really talked about this much on my channel, but because of my work schedule and just how busy my life is and with planning a wedding, I can really only film right now on the weekends. So I usually film either like all day Saturday or Saturday and Sunday. All that being said, I couldn't film in the morning. I had some errands to run this morning, so I'm now filming, and I've been running around in the rain all day. It's been crazy rainy. In fact, I can't even remember the last time that we got this much rain in Southern California, so it's a little bit of a doozy outside. Hence the crazy hair and very light makeup. Rambling done. Let's just go ahead and get into the Pan That palette for this year. So I'm going to insert a clip right now of what the palette looked like last month. So here is the palette now. Right off the bat, you can probably see that the biggest change is right here with my lid setting shade. It's this shade here. I previously only had like a center pan in this color. In the month of January, I did have to repress it, and since then, when I repressed it, it basically went completely flat, covered the whole pan again, so it might have been a little early to repress it, but now as you can see, it's like 3/4 of the way gone. So I know for sure I will be able to finish that specific color up in February, which is very exciting because then I can rotate another one of my individual shadows into the mix. Probably the next biggest change is actually here in ColourPop Glass Bowl. I have a significant dip in this color now, and I was so hoping that I could hit pan before this update. If you recall from the first video, my goal was only to hit pan in this shade, actually Glass Bowl and in Teaspoon, Tea Garden as well. So I'm very close to hitting pan in Glass Bowl. That will be really exciting. I'm thinking I can also accomplish that in February. So two other changes you'll see in the palette. Up here in this top corner, I have hit pan, baby pan, on Makeup Geek Frappe, and I have also expanded the pan on, what is this color called? Should know what this is called. Purely Naked. Both of them are Makeup Geek. So for Purely Naked, my goal for February, this one here, is to hit side pan. If you can see, I'm getting fairly close to the edge. I think if I work on that solidly for a month, I will definitely be able to hit side pan in that shade. I also want to continue growing the pan in Frappe. And last month I can't remember if I said I would definitely hit pan or I was going to try and hit pan in Brown Script by MAC. That shade, by the way, it is this shade there. It's just sort of like a medium warm, really warm brown. It has a lot of red in it. So on the day-to-day, I like to do a lot of matte eye looks. So I'll take Brown Script and put it all over the lid and just sort of blend it out with lighter and lighter brown colors, just to get like, it looks almost like a one color eye look, but there's about 3 or 4 different shadows that end up going into that look. All that being said though, I thought that I might be able to hit pan in that shade. It is so hard pressed, like it is tightly pressed in that pan. So I'm gonna say it may not even be until like half the year where I'm seeing pan, which is kind of a bummer. It's a little bit discouraging, especially because that's my last MAC eyeshadow to use up, or my last MAC eyeshadow in a pan. I have 3 other pigments, but yeah, I just want to use it up and get it out of my collection, and I have a feeling it's going to stick around probably until the very end of the year to use the whole thing up. Let's talk goals for next month, aka February. I definitely am going to use up Mirage. That's a no-brainer. I use it as my lid setting shade every single day, so I probably only have about maybe 2 weeks left in that shadow, so that'll be gone. I definitely know that I can hit pan on Glass Bowl. I'm really, really enjoying that shade on the lid, and in a way that I didn't anticipate liking it, I use it in the inner corner a lot, especially if I'm doing like an all matte eye look. I think it's just a really interesting pop of something. It doesn't necessarily brighten the inner corner, but it gives a really unique look. And to be even more high maintenance, when I'm looking for that dimension of Glass Bowl, but I want something brightening, I'll go ahead and lay Glass Bowl, this guy, down in the inner corner, and then I'll pop just the tiniest bit of that white right over it, so you still keep the reflect of Glass Bowl, but you also get the really nice brightness that a white will give you. And it's not a matte white, but it's not a shimmer white either. It's like this, it has a nice sheen to it. Since February is the month of love, I definitely want to use my pinks and purples a little bit more. I think that would be a good time to start really focusing on those, especially the shade Sissy. It's hard to see the dimension of it in the camera, but it is just such a nice pink with almost like warm orangey reflex to it. I think that would be really nice for some soft pink looks for Valentine's Day. Some overall goals for the palette. I definitely I want to take some time in February to use the shades that I so far have not used. So there's quite a few in the palette that need a little bit of love for me. I have been focusing on the goal shadows for January, and I think I made some really good progress for those. So once I can hit pan on Glass Bowl, I think maybe I'll transition to a couple other lid shades, maybe more of the exciting colors. There's also a gold in my Z palette, a really beautiful gold metallic lid shade that I barely have gotten any use out of. So maybe I can get some nice gold looks with that. And then in general, just really expand the pan on everything that has pan already. So, you know, like my white inner corner shade, I've expanded that pan just the tiniest bit. And then some of the other crease and transition colors that I have, I've expanded those just the tiniest bit as well. Not even enough that you'd be able to notice it looking at it on camera. So I'm looking for maybe a little bit more of a noticeable difference in those for February. I am the glowiest. So glowy. My skin is... When I was doing my makeup today, I wasn't sure if I was gonna redo my makeup to film or just like go into it. And I was like, you know what? You guys don't have to see me super made up every time I do a video. This is real life, you know? Sometimes I just do very minimal makeup. Like today, I have probably about half the powder that I normally put on my face. I didn't use my pressed powder, so I only have a little bit of loose powder under my eyes and on my nose, and I've kind of like buffed whatever was left on the rest of my face, which is why I'm like really, if you can see, I'm very glowy in certain areas. But you know what, like I said, that's life, and you know, we've all got things to do, errands to run, those types of things. So what are you gonna do? All right, so that wraps up my Pan That Palette first update and my goals for the month of February. I really hope you enjoyed it and enjoyed seeing the progress that I've made so far. I'm really excited to see the progress that I can make in the next month. And if you liked this video or you like Project Pan type videos, feel free to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel because I will be having more Pan That Palette updates, Pan That Palette, Project Pan, and no buy content, obviously, as this is my no buy year. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you later.